Om Tat Sat. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading energy known as Brahman or God, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandji Maharaj, to all the sages and saints of this world, and to each of you divine soul watching today's satsang. Today we will be studying Sutra number 46 from the Sadhana Pad of the Raja Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, commentary by my Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda, and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So let us repeat the sutra. It is Sthira Sukham Asanam. Let's repeat. Sthira Sukham Asanam. Sthir means steady. Sukham means that is comfortable, that gives you happiness and joy. And asana means pose for meditation. Asana, we all know what asana is. So the meaning of the sutra thus is a seated pose for meditation that is steady and comfortable is called asana. So generally you must have seen most yogis who sit either Sukhasana is where you have folded legs, and just like you see our Guruji here, Param Guru Swami Shivananda, that's a very beautiful pose. And then where your legs are cross-legged but without any pain, and your arms can be basically palms facing upwards, or they can also be on your knees. But the key is that your spine, neck and head should be a straight line. So this way the flow of prana and energy is much easy and better. But you have to do it in a spontaneous manner. There should be no stress anywhere in the body. And the scriptures guide us, if we can do a comfortable pose for 3 hours without any movement and we are still comfortable, then we have conquered that asana. It's called asana jai. So to attain success in the practice of concentration, meditation and samadhi, so 3 things are eventually required: dharana, dhyana, samadhi. An aspirant begins to develop steadiness in a meditative pose. Why is steadiness needed? Because even a little bit of activity distracts our chitta and mind thought waves. So to keep those steady, we have to keep the body steady also. And then once we are able to do that for a long time, we start to open the deeper layers of samadhi. So as rajas, or the principle of desire and passion, begins to diminish, a yogi becomes physically more relaxed. Therefore we say build sattva, build purity, do all these observances so these worldly desires and pulls of the world do not distract us during our practice and so on. This allows him to maintain his body still, like a painted picture for a long duration. That should be ideally our status as we progress. An aspirant trains himself to be seated in a cross-legged pose for 3 hours at a time, as we just talked about, because that's considered as asan siddhi. And if he does this without any discomfort, then he has conquered it. Hatha Yoga has evolved an elaborate system of asanas, which are physical poses. Pranayama is called breathing exercises, and kriyas are called purificatory exercises, such as Nauli, Dhauti. All these students who are serious into yoga, Vedanta and want to learn meditation, they have to do all these purification exercises. And then mudras are needed, bandhas, where you close the flow of air by closing your neck and by closing your stomach and tightening it. Those are all different exercises for channeling our breath the proper way. By these exercises, so a hatha yogi frees the body of rajas. The idea is to eliminate the toxins that have accumulated inside the body, and he renders this body fit for practice of advanced forms of Raja Yoga in terms of concentration, meditation and samadhi. So those of you, sometimes the question comes up, especially from the Western world, because they are not used to squatting, or if we are of certain age where we cannot squat in a cross-legged position for too long, that's okay. You can use a chair, and again, just like I'm sitting on this chair talking to you, as long as your backbone, the spine, the neck and the head is all straight, and you are able to sit like that for 3 hours in a relaxed manner, that also is fine. Although a cross-legged position, which is a typical yogic method, is always preferable, but if that is not possible due to physical limitations, it's okay. You should still continue the practice, because the chitta is, the purpose is to still the body, not necessarily on how nicely we can do an asana. So that is the teaching here. So I hope this sutra is very deep. All these sutras, they build on each other, and so therefore continue to enjoy this nectar, practice it, and also from time to time revisit some of the sutras where I guide you to, because if you don't do it, you will miss the deeper essence of these teachings. But we will cover the next sutra tomorrow. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.